Hi, I'm Cheryl Jacobs, and welcome to Kids Party Characters podcast. And thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe below. And today I'd like to welcome Mihrzad. He is the author of Mind Body Solution: Train Your Body for Permanent Weight Loss. He's also appeared on Entrepreneur Magazine and How to Grow Your Coaching Business to over $1 million a year. He is the owner of Online Super Coach Podcast and also OnlineSuperCoach.com. He's probably one of the most influential super coaches and speaker and the man behind massively marketing Kids Party Characters Company and the importance of bringing value to others before yourself. Hi, AJ.
Hey, Cheryl, thanks for having me. This is such an amazing thing to be on your podcast. Just a year ago, we were talking about podcasts, and now you have your own. So what a celebration.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't even know that there was podcasts other than DJs until I met you. And when you told me that, I was like, wow, you have your own podcast. I was so amazed. So, okay, so let's talk about a year ago when I met you, probably a little over a year ago I met you, and you taught me about the world of online super coach, which I knew nothing about because I was more posting selfies probably in my modeling pictures on Facebook and not really using it as a tool for marketing or business or anything like that. So you kind of taught me all about that, and probably most likely the reason why I went on to brand my company into a membership site. So tell people about how you bring out their superpowers.
Yeah, definitely. It's very impressive. You definitely are the selfie queen. And I love how you transition from being a selfie queen to marketing yourself and branding yourself on social media, which is going to make you a lot more money. So cheers to that. Because I always ask people, do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? And I think a lot of times people just want to be famous on social media, but you can really monetize your brand, your business, your career using social media. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, social media and good copy. Like I actually just studied copywriting and infotainment, which is another thing that you taught me about. So I kind of looked into that and studied that. That's like a huge thing for marketing here. And so you invited me. You do seminars all over New York, and I know saw you in San Francisco as well. Anywhere else that you've done seminars?
Yeah, at my house. I started doing seminars at my house. So I had like 40 women in my living room last weekend for the female entrepreneur seminar. That was a lot of fun. So now I could do them at my house. I'm going to LA actually in 2 days to do a seminar there. So now I'm taking it nationwide.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that you had all those chairs in your living room for all those women. I was like, when you put something on there that you are going to have 40 women in there, I'm like, where is he going to put all these women? But I mean, I know your living room's large, but still, like, and like they're growing. Like the very first one I think you did, there's probably half that amount of women.
Yeah, it was about 25.
Yeah, so and you were okay with the couches and the chairs then, but then I was like, okay, he's just double the size. How is he going to do this?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of entrepreneurship, and something I've seen you done really well is, jumping off a cliff and then building wings on the way down. So it's like committing to certain things, not knowing the how, knowing what you want to do, why you want to do it, and then everything just falls into place. Just like your amazing company, it's grown tremendously in the past year. You've now really invested in yourself, taking your whole life to the next level. You're making a bigger impact, helping so many more people. And it's like you had that vision a year ago and then you took the appropriate actions, so I'm really proud of you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no more selfies. It's all about branding Kids Party Characters right
yes.
A few selfies along the way still, but
yeah, here and there.
I know it's weird because on Facebook it comes up like, 5 years ago, what you did. And, I got my modeling pictures or the selfies. Thank God the club pictures aren't coming up anymore. But it's like you look at where you've been and to where you are now. If you do the right thing by yourself and your company, it's amazing transformation that
Absolutely.
you do. So another thing, okay, we talked about the female entrepreneurs, and I saw you doing the speaking to the children. Like, what was that about? I mean, I briefly saw it on Facebook.
Oh yeah. So the whole thing is, many people don't know this, but prior to me starting my business, I taught health and physical education. So I was a teacher for about 3 years, and that's what made me realize two things. One, I love teaching people. I love educating them, and two, after working with kids for 3 years, I prefer working with adults. You know, kids are cool.
See, we're opposite.
Yeah, they're a little less motivated than an adult, and I feel like I could do more with adults. You know what I mean? Because kids, they're pretty limited. They can't start a business. They can't get a six pack. So
Although I've seen some little kids with six packs, it's pretty crazy. Like they're lifting with their fathers and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, you ever put a kid on a strict diet? Kids can't go on low carb.
Low carb and no candy. Yeah, that would not work. So I mean, the good thing about my business is that I'm there to entertain them, and you're there to try and teach them nutrition, which I think maybe focusing on a little bit older, like maybe teens, because the younger kids don't really want. They don't want to cut out candy and cake and stay focused on other than playing with the other kids,
Start to get a kid to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and do an hour of cardio.
That would be funny. That would be really funny. Although I have seen some kids do videos where they're like lifting and stuff like that, and they're so little and it's funny. I mean,
it's cute.
Like a 1 in a million though.
Yeah, no, but I do love kids. I have a lot of respect for them. I was a kid not too long ago, so I connect with them.
And you have a little niece too, right? So let's talk about like when I first met you. I think that's how I met you, because I was like, he's got a daughter and he might like my kids' parties. So that's why I was like, hey, your daughter is beautiful. That's how we actually met on Facebook. So she's how old now?
She's going to be 3 in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
So if I were to send one of my girls over to entertain for her 3rd birthday, what do you think she would like?
That is a great question. I don't know her cartoon watching habits, but I remember, because I'm the oldest of 4 boys. I had 3 younger brothers, and I would always see them like watching kids television and stuff like that. And my little brother was really into Barney, the purple dinosaur. Is he still relevant?
You know what? When I first started my company, and I first got asked by an agent. First it was like, will you play Cinderella? And then the second one was, will you play Barney? And it's not as fun as the princesses, but he rarely gets booked. But honestly, like, what the really funny story is, I lived in New York City. You don't need a car in New York City. So here I am on the subway with this garbage bag of Barney, looking like a homeless person, like carrying this thing on the subway and the bus over. And I had to go to the Staten Island. So I had to do the ferry on top of it with this huge garbage bag. And Barney's not so fun, but he doesn't really get booked so much anymore.
I guess it's like the 90s, right? And you know what? That's a great question. I'll ask her next time to see what she's into,
Yeah.
Because you told me a really interesting fact. Until this day, I'm fascinated by it. But you said there's a certain age where kids could tell between what's real and what's imaginary. And once you have them in that imaginary phase, like they believe that they're with Barney or with the girl from Frozen and all this stuff. So Elsa, yes.
Elsa, yes, that's Elsa or Anna.
What is the age where kids know that it's fake?
I would say up until 8. They still believe up until they're 8. When they're 7, there's a couple that are questionable, but up until 8. I mean, I've done parties for 10-year-olds before, and they still believe. Like,
Wow.
So it's
slow learners.
It's slow learners, or maybe their mom and dad are protecting them. I don't know, but I would say 8 is pretty much the cutoff. But for your niece, for 3, she's at that age where it's either a mascot, like maybe Paw Patrol is big right now, or PJ Masks is big right now. I mean, Mickey and Minnie is always popular, but she also could go with the princesses or superheroes too. She's right at that kind of like transitional, age right there.
How do you stay up on the trends and know what the little kids like?
Well, I mean, obviously I have 2 grandbabies, 2 and 5. And they always tell me what they like. I mean, they're toys. I have millions of toys, and Plus, the parents when they call,
Oh, okay.
the parents when they call, what's requested the most and things like that. So I actually just got a call today. There's a new movie coming out for a new princess, and I have to look into. And right now, emojis is starting to get requested, so I have to look into. I don't know if I want the poop emoji, you know, but
Yikes.
but I have a feeling it's going to be requested, so I might look into that one.
Yeah, it
So
sounds like a great birthday party.
I know. Well, they asked me to like face paint that on their face, and I'm like, okay, no problem if that's what you want.
Wow. Okay. Kids these days.
Or the
That's-
hearts. They want the hearts on the eyes, like the hearts emoji. The one on their eyes and the smiley face. I do that one a lot.
yeah,
So,
the younger generation is interesting, especially nowadays. Did you hear about the Tide Pod challenge that the kids are eating Tide Pods?
I don't even know what a Tide Pod is. What is that?
So basically, when you do your laundry, instead of pouring detergent, they have these pods
Oh
called
yeah.
Tide Pods.
Okay.
And they're basically pods that explode when you do the laundry. So there's this phenomenon now. It's a hashtag, the Tide Pod Challenge. And there's a lot of little kids, not just even teenagers, that basically eat the Tide Pods. They film themselves biting into it so it explodes in their mouth. And there are actually a few cases of death. There were I think like 5 kids who died and 3 adults who died, and they ate the Tide Pods. And if you look for the hashtag, you'll see them on pizzas, and they have like Tide Pod sandwiches. But it's like a new trend that people eat them. They videotape themselves on social media. And I was like, that's really interesting how like in different, eras, like in the 80s and 90s, it was kids were into different things. And now it's like eating detergent,
That is like, I think that's like sniffing glue. And when I was a kid, that was like the thing to do. Is like what we do. I could see the kids doing stupid things like
At
that.
least when you sniff glue, you get high, like you get a benefit. This is like you're just eating chemicals.
That's insane. And then
there's nothing
adults are
glamorous
doing
about
it.
that.
That's retarded. I don't understand why like adults would do that too. Like, are you serious? I could see kids doing that. But,
Yeah, the adults that died from it, that's, living life on the edge, definitely.
So obviously I have to thank you for pushing me. You connected me up with a branding company that created the membership site.
Thank you. Yes.
And without you, like I totally put my focus, and now we have this membership site for anybody's interested. We can, for stay-at-home moms or anybody who's looking for a second business, you can run it through your home. And you can start off for the first year making 6 figures and grow it from there. And another thing too, you inspired me to write my first book.
Yes.
Escape from the Darkness.
Into the Enchanted. Yes.
It's Escape from the Darkness into the Enchanted.
That's powerful. Yeah, your autobiography.
Autobiography from a teenage mother to owning my 9th business, kidspartycharacters.com. And it's a bestseller on Amazon right now. It still is I think we launched it in August. Yeah, we launched it in August, still a bestseller. And thank you for the 5-star review.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal book. And I'm proud of you. So many people say they're going to write a book and you actually do it, and it's amazing to see how far you've come. Because when we first met a little over a year ago, you just had your company. And now you had this amazing membership portal and you built this, international following, all these people on social media. It's amazing. You have all the, and you're doing a great thing, because essentially that's what I do. I have a company called Online Super Coach, and I help personal trainers and coaches to grow their online business. And they basically buy my courses or come to my seminars to get the shortcut, right? It took you so many years to learn all the things that you did, and now you give them a shortcut so that they can start the business literally next weekend.
Yeah, and the reason I did that is to help them, because all of the mistakes that I made when I first started, there's companies out there that have beautiful pictures of Mickey Mouse and they probably stole from Disneyland or something like that. And then I get it and it's like Scary Mickey. And I'm like, I can't send this to a kid's party because who's going to call me back when they are going to be like, oh, these costumes are like bootleg or something, So I eliminate all the mistakes, who's the good advertisers. I have a casting director on staff right now so that you can get talent, because I've exhausted, like there's a magazine called Backstage. It's two different, completely
Back
different.
page is a prostitution magazine.
Yeah, completely different.
Escorts.
Backstage is for actors. Back page is for hookers. So it's
Yes.
completely different. So, I mean, yeah, I eliminate all the guesswork, you know, so I basically give them the platform to from beginning to up and running. And I sold my first membership. I just attended Business Mastery. So I sold my first
Shout out
membership.
to Tony Robbins.
Yes. First membership to a husband-wife team. She's a stay-at-home mom and he's the bread earner. And she's like, I need to make more money because they want to go on vacations. And I'm like, guess what I have for you? And she has children, so it's like perfect. She works well with children already, so it's first membership sold, and I'm looking forward to that. And we're opening up a franchise in London this March, so that's our first global kids party characters.
Congratulations. That's huge, going international.
Yes. And you have a new book coming out too, right? Don't you have another book that you're writing right now? Your second?
Yes, it's in the process of being written, but yeah. So it's more of like a philosophy book just on like mindset. And one thing I'm really into, I have a master's in psychology, is I do a lot of research on what creates the fastest change in someone. And I've come to find it's the power of identity. How you perceive yourself equals your success or your failure in life. So when you think, act, and speak like a certain person, you soon become that person.
Yeah, you say fake it till you make it. That's not really what you're saying.
Not really fake it till you make it, more like act as if and soon you will become.
There you go. I like that better.
Yeah, it's kind of like becoming that person mentally and then taking the actions, right? So like, for example, if someone wants to become a millionaire, the fastest way to become a millionaire is if they ask themselves like, who do I have to be in order to deserve $1 million? What do I do on a daily basis? How can I serve 1 million people? And then soon you become that. So how does a millionaire think? How do they speak? How do they act? When you have that identity, you become that person.
Yeah, I think that's why your push to brand my company and the membership is like, I was in my little bubble of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut only, you know, and my family's from Ohio. So we started a franchise over there. Well, not really a franchise, it's a territory. We're calling it territories, not franchises. But you know, but from when I went to London and now we're opening up in Chicago as well and then the husband and wife team from Tony Robbins, you know, so I mean that I think getting out of my bubble and out of my own way is basically what you're teaching to basically get out of your own way, to get your mindset of, okay, I can take this business bigger and make it bigger. And
yeah,
you know, you just got to put your mind to it and do it.
Yeah, you know, because I have a lot of different courses and programs. Just 2 weekends ago, I had a course on helping people write a book in 2 days. So I had 12 people come to my house, and we had a whole process of getting the book out of them and setting up the title and the whole outline of the book, publishing it, making it a bestseller just like you. And, you know, those are people that took action. You took action. There's so many people that say, I want to write a book. I want to start a business. I want to make all these changes, but they talk about it and they never do it. So a few people actually do it. They're the action takers, right? So it's like you already have a vision of what you want to do, and now it's getting out of your own way and actually executing on it.
Yeah, I never saw you put anything on Facebook. You know, I'm a follower on Facebook of you, but I didn't see it. And when I saw my friend Danny Torres introduced you guys, I was like, you got to meet AJ. He's you guys will be good together. I knew it the minute you guys met. And you're both texting me from business, or what was it, Date with Destiny. You're both texting me like, Cheryl, I met Danny. AJ, I met AJ, and it was like crazy. And he's like, and you're like, he signed up for my book event. And I was like, he's been saying he wanted to do that for a while. And I'm so glad that you guys met and got that together. And
yeah,
now,
thank you.
Yeah.
For the connection.
And now his book is coming out soon here, I believe.
Next month. Yeah.
Next month. That's awesome. And
yeah, Danny's a great guy. He's an action taker. I met at a Tony Robbins seminar. Within 5 minutes of meeting, he gives me his credit card. He's like, I want to buy it. I don't care how much it costs. Sign me up. And I'm like, okay, this guy's serious, you know? And he came to my book event, wrote his book in 2 days. Has a really powerful story of surviving leukemia, becoming this troubleshooter, as he calls it. And then after that, he signed up for my online coaching program to take his online business to the next level. And again, it's like I love working with people like Danny, people like you. It's like, you guys just do it, right? You don't talk about it, you get it done. And action takers, they make the world go round.
Yeah, definitely. I saw his post today. I was so happy. And then I was so happy that and how many other people were at your book event? There are a few, right?
12 in total. Yes, 12 people.
That's awesome. And they're all have their books coming out in about a month, right?
Yes. Yeah. I set up specific launch dates. Everyone's launching at a different week. So like February, March, April. And it's awesome, because prior to working with them, I helped 20 people become authors, and I did it through my online program, virtual students, coaching students. But this is the first time that I was able to get 12 authors in one room together and over the course of a weekend, get their books out, So this is actually something I'm going to be doing more often, just based on how great this event went. And a lot of people have said, hey, I want to do the next one. So maybe every few months I'll run a book retreat out of my house.
Well, I mean, it's a great thing because nobody's doing it, for one. I mean, you're the first person I've ever seen do it. And when I wrote my book, I found a ghostwriter to help me through it. So, I mean, you need a coach, for one, to get out of your way.
Yes.
And there's a process that people understand. I had over 100 pages, which my book was narrowed down to like 60 because she put it in story format. And without her, I couldn't have done that. So, I mean, you connected them up with the right people, and now now you have 12 people with 12, well, now a total of 32 people that you've helped with their books.
Yeah, it's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. And I think that's a cool thing about what you do and what I do. You not only make a great living out of it, but also it's very fulfilling, right? Because when you see the smiles on the kids' faces and people are just genuinely happy with the process, it feels really good. If you're like, I don't know, I'm thinking about like other jobs, a retail store or an accountant, I mean, you're not really transforming lives on a daily basis. So it's cool when you could make money, but at the same time, fulfill other people's lives.
Yeah. I mean, this business really, the kids company, when I started, I'm more behind the scenes now, but when you go into a kids party and you see how happy they are and you see how happy their parents are to see their kids happy, I would do it for free if I didn't have to make a living. And I've done a lot of charity events, and the mothers will tell me, this is the first time my daughter has smiled in a month, because it's, I do a lot of hospitals and children with autism and stuff like that. And it always makes me cry. I don't know why. I can never keep it back because, the mom starts crying and I'm like, stop crying because you're going to make Cinderella cry. So, I mean, it really is, to bring happiness to other people is probably the biggest reason why I started the membership site, because if I can, instead of just keep it in this little area, why not bring it across? I mean, even when I went to Brazil, and everybody knows who Elsa and Spider-Man is over there, and all these characters. When I went to London, I dressed like Elsa and did a photo shoot by the Tower Bridge. And there was a little nursery school of children there, and their mouths just dropped when they saw Elsa. So I know, wow. Yeah, I know there's a market for this everywhere, because people will, I've done both ends of the spectrum, where people will have 5 characters for a 1-year-old catered and a DJ and everything else. And then I've gone to not so nice areas in either the Bronx or Brooklyn or something like that. And that they haven't paid their rent that month, but they'll have 2 princesses there and make their children's birthday special. So it's like the people just, they just want to make their kids happy. And it's such a fulfilling thing. So I found my passion.
I love it. I love it. Now I can hear it in your voice. You're really living your life's purpose.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next with you? I mean, I haven't spoken to you in a while. What else are you doing with yourself over there?
Well, I set a big goal in 2017 to do my first night of stand-up comedy. And I'm happy to say that I was able to accomplish it October 6th of 2017. And it was like the biggest joy of my life, because I've always wanted to do stand-up, not so much as a career, but because I do seminars and a lot of public speaking, I've always had a challenge with my communication. I started for the first 20 years of my life, and I always had a fear of public speaking. So by doing my own seminars and stepping out of my comfort zone, I always become better. So I kind of felt like stand-up comedy was my big challenge in terms of getting up there, telling jokes, being vulnerable. You know, when you do stand-up, if you suck, people heckle you or they make fun of you, they throw tomatoes at you, you know? If you're public speaking, even if you suck, they'll just like clap and be like, good job. So I knew I had to challenge myself. So
is this going to be your thing? Are you going to keep doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing more stand-up comedy, definitely, and adding more infotainment to my seminars and my videos. And I set a big goal for this year. I cringe, I get scared when I talk about it, but is to record a rap album. So that's
that's your new challenge.
That's my new challenge. I love hip hop music. I've always been fascinated with rappers who could rhyme for like 20, 30 minutes at a time. And then I started to practice freestyling, and I started practicing, 10, 20 minutes a day. And I realized the more I did it, the better I got. I could just flow and just freestyle. And then I said, if I become better at freestyle, then I could speak better. I could be more on the fly, more spontaneous, improvisational. So then I said, well, if I record a rap album, who I become in that process will be a better communicator. I'm not doing it to win a Grammy. I'm not doing it to make money off the album itself. But I want to inspire people, teach them lessons, and also like take my content and teach it through music, right? Because I love teaching. Instead of just speaking or telling jokes, now I could create an album and people could learn from my musical talent.
That's a great idea to have people infotainment through rap. I don't think anybody's doing that either. So you'll be.
I would love to see a kids party characters rap album.
The intro to something we'd have.
Yeah, I mean, I could see you being a really good rapper if you ever wanted to pursue that.
I know I'm good at singing "Let It Go" and all that kind of stuff, those princesses songs, but I'm not sure about rapping.
Give it a try. I mean, you were in the nightclub scene, right? Like, so what genre of music? I mean, you could probably DJ. You could create something.
Yeah, it would have to be with house music. I'm a house person. I like house music.
No, exactly. You could sing a house song. Let It Go, the house music version.
The house version, rap version.
Exactly.
That would be hilarious. Oh my goodness. So I know there was another question that I wanted to ask you. I don't remember what it is right now. Oh, your video with the car coming in the driveway. What was that about?
Yeah. So I went through a whole rebranding process, and I hired this team to help me with my videos, my website, my marketing, all that stuff. And they're really talented guys, and they kind of created like this trailer, this video commercial of what I do. So the biggest thing that I teach people is to create their ideal lifestyle. And that's one of the reasons why I have so many events in my house. I live in a beautiful house. It's a nice mansion. There's a lot of open space. And 6 months ago, I purchased my dream car, which is a Bentley convertible, So they had this whole idea of kind of showing the lifestyle, the car, the house, the luxury. And then I'm teaching content while they're filming me. So it was an experiment. It actually worked really well. Oddly enough, my business has grown significantly once I showed them my lifestyle, because I'm teaching people how to grow their online business and how to become financially independent. So I live by example. I'm really grateful to create a lot of financial abundance. So I'm like, you can learn from my example. And my students, they do well for themselves as well. In fact, the other day, one of my students from Australia, Jono, he made his first $1 million. He broke 7 figures in his business. We've been coaching together, and he shared a screenshot. I just broke $1 million, and I took a screenshot of that. I posted on my Facebook with a little backstory of him breaking $1 million in his business. So that really makes me happy, because it's like, I just don't like to teach people. I also want to show results, right? Because that's what I always tell people, don't give me your advice, show me your results, because people that show the results of what they do, they don't really have to talk that much, right? It's showing and not telling.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of, since I got back from Business Mastery, kind of reevaluated my team, and the people that weren't showing results are no longer with me, and the ones that are doing amazing, I'm giving them raises. So you really have to reevaluate everything about people and what the results are.
Well, the question is, when are you going to buy your dream car?
When I have a garage to park it in, or unless I'm going to come over and park it in your garage. You have like a space for how many, 10 cars or something like that?
Yeah, I got a lot of space. Yeah, you can park it here. I'll drive it on the weekends.
As long as it's not snowing outside.
Yes, we know that. What would be your dream car, though, if you could have any car on the planet?
I'm not really sure because I've never really grew up with luxury cars.
Me neither. I was very poor.
Yeah, so I would have to really investigate to look into it and see.
See you in a pink Lamborghini.
No, I'm not a pink person. I'm more of a tomboy, so it would probably be more something.
Black Lamborghini.
So maybe black or gray, maybe dark gray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a pink girl or flowers. Pink or flowers is not me. So, but
by the way, what does a private jet go for nowadays? That's a big goal. I think everyone should aspire to own their own private jet.
You know what's crazy though too? It's probably going to be like $1 million for your own private jet. And the crazy thing about it is Tony Robbins talked about, your time is more valuable than upping your private jet cost versus commercial. He told the story that he was invited to not an expensive dinner, but a dinner with important people. And it took him 11 hours to get there because he took commercial. And when he got there, the guy was like, what is your time is more valuable than the cost of the private jet. So what Business Mastery had on it after that was like, okay, I'm looking for somebody to be a private jet. And I literally put on there, I'm a pilot. I know I have connections. I work with NetJets. I literally have 2 phone calls to make as soon as I'm done with here because I literally am like lining up private jet like jobs. It's like amazing. It's amazing. Proximity is like power.
Yeah, sure. You already made all the money back from your seminar and time away and all that stuff. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So now I have to find the right assistant and I'm perfect. I'm golden. So, because if I'm flying all over the place, I need somebody to be able to run this. So
yeah, exactly. You're right. You want to leverage yourself.
Exactly. So getting overwhelmed, but I'll manage through it. Change my words, and then you can change your mindset, and you can do it. So
everything will always fall into place. Yeah, I mean, you already have a lot of momentum. You're already very successful, and it's just making those slight tweaks.
Definitely. So I have to get going, but I thank you so much for being on our show. And everybody,
my pleasure.
And, you have your podcast is Online Super Coach Podcast?
Yeah, that's the name of my company, Online Super Coach. There's a podcast, there's a seminar series, online training, book toward it, So if you just Google Online Super Coach, my website, you'll have everything on there. The podcast, the seminars, the retreats. I do a lot of free events. Now I'm doing them nationwide. So by the time of this podcast, I've done it in different cities. If you're around, I would love to meet you. And
your Facebook is what?
Facebook.com/AJ Fit, like fitness, AJFIT, and you will find me.
There you go. So, well, thank you for appearing on Kids Party Characters podcasts.
I'm honored.
And pushing us to become the branding company and the membership site and everything like that. And
yes, I'm going to put this on my bio.
Yes, if I didn't meet you a year ago, I don't think I would be where I am right now. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm proud of you. You're working really hard and you inspire me, because all of your success and how far you've come since I've known you, that inspires me to go even harder. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. No more selfie queen.
You're now the success queen, branding yourself and changing lives. So that's amazing.
Yes, thank you. All right, AJ. Well, it was nice talking to you. And,
likewise. Nice talking to you too. This was fun. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.